This is all there is. And that seems a bit strange because we're so used to the room or the bodies or what you see or feel. That seems not everything, because it's so normal to think that there is a world outside of the room. There are parents or children outside. There's an outside. There's also, it seems to be that there's an inside. And this is all there is very literally. It's only a body. There's nothing inside. There's no person inside, no identity inside. There's just body. So there's no me. There's not only here no me, there's nowhere a me. There has never been a me. It's just the structure of the brain that can abstract that there seems to be a threatening world, and when there's a me, it seems that when there's a seemingly free will and choice, that you can make your life work, that you can choose to do things that make your life a bit more comfortable, or with the thoughts you think your thoughts are your thoughts. You can try to relate or to behave. It's always about making things better in the world. When there's a me, there's also a feeling of loss. Something is not right yet. Something is wrong, maybe somewhere not complete. There's a sense of missing, or there's something wrong, or feeling maybe less worthy, something like that. There's always, and it's not only in the mind. Oh wait, I can answer the question, but I first do my little talk. So there can be, it's already gone what I wanted to say, what I was going to say. So this is all there is, and this is very normal, just not behaving, but just talking, moving of your hand, moving of the hand. And it's already there, of course, because that's what is. That's just already happening, apparently. So nothing needs to change. Nothing is not complete already. Complete doesn't mean that it's perfect in the sense that we think as in me, like perfect in a perfect body, or no wrinkles or things like that. Perfect is just the way it is. That's very odd for me to hear, because it's never perfect. It seems that there's a long road to be perfect, and we have to do a lot of things to make it better, or to be perfect, or to behave in the right way, or to do the best for your body. It's also very convincing that when there's a me, that it's inside the body, the me. The body is the borders of the body is your borders. The thoughts who are coming are your thoughts. So it seems that thoughts have a function, have meaning, have purpose. So you can use it. It seems that you can use your thoughts to make things better, or to eat less sugar, or do what the best is for you. When there's a me, the funny thing is, it's always, everything is about you. There are relationships, because you are someone. So there's also seen that when there's another body, that's also someone, that it's here, there's someone. And that there are relationships. When there are relationships, there's also a survival system about behaving right, doing the right thing, protecting yourself. And that's not always in the brain, in the mind, of course, but it's embodied. So there are a lot of structures to be safe, to be nice, behave nice. I know I've always been the structure of behaving good. So everybody thinks you're a very nice person. And so you're safe and nobody will hurt you and things like that. Everybody has different ways to behave. So that's always, there are always conflicts because there are different things about thinking what is the best you can do. So it's a whole structure and a whole beliefs and concepts about what is the right thing to do, what is bad, what is bad behavior, or bad things are happening, or bad feelings and good feelings. Everything is about good and bad, and the drive is away from the bad and the fear and the anger and the pain, and trying to get a happy life, a world which is completely natural in a way, maybe. So there's always a fight to do it because it's never end. It's a never-ending storm. Of course it's never complete. So there's always something to do. When people coming to this kind of meetings of non-duality, they come with the same beliefs and the same structures. So it's all also about me getting something, or maybe me losing something, or getting rid of something. So when there is said there's no me, it seems like something. There is Rose, and inside Rose there is no me, or Rose has no me, or everybody has a different way. So there are a lot of other meetings about non-duality, and that's about trying to reach no me. The funny thing is, there's already no me. There has never been a me, so nothing to reach. And who can reach something? Because there is no one. There's just body. There's just life happening, and it seems that you could say through the lights, you see bodies. There's circumstances. There's room. There's moving, but it's not moving.
I cried this morning.
Oh wait, I will some. Oh God, a lot of people. Oh no, I think it's everybody's muted. So it seems like everything is happening to you. The thoughts are your help to make things better. Thoughts are only thoughts. The funny thing is they don't have anything, any meaning. They don't have any meaning and power. They don't have any power. So it's just thoughts, it's just energy, just reporting about what's happening. That's it, nothing else, nothing more than that. So there's body, and maybe there's a cramp in the body. You don't even, when there's a cramp, maybe sometimes it's not even known where it is, but we are so convinced that everything is happening inside the body, that it's also felt and seen like it's inside. So has something happening. It's a very strange thing, because all the experiences, because then when there's a me, it's about me experiencing pain or experiencing suffering or anything. And when this is heard, it's about nothing experiencing. It's just literally describing what is happening, and that's it. There's no goal, there's no before, there's no after, there's no time. It seems time is also an abstract structure, so when there's no time, there's no before, there's no after, there's no past. There's just nothing happening. It seems there's nothing happening, and there's apparently everything happening. So there's nothing, it's just nothing, and there's apparently happening things like that, but it's just apparent. It's like a mirage. It's like when you see when there's a rainy road, you can see suddenly water or images, and that's the same thing with the world. It seems like everything is very real and solid, but it's just energy. Nothing is really happening. There are no relationships. There's just what is. There's just this. And what is happening is, of course, complete in the sense that everything is already 100%. If it's, when it's very a mouth like this, then that's 100% just that. It's not good, it's not wrong, it's just like that. That's it. It's very simple and very normal. And there's nothing special about it. It's not felt, it's not a feeling. It's not feeling at one or something like that. Or togetherness or something. It's just the only thing when there's no me, the difference is when there's no me, there's nothing trying to change it. The feeling of there's something not good enough, it's not there anymore. So that's it. And it's very, very simple and very normal. And in the same time, for the me, when it's heard, when there's nothing trying to change it, that it's so obvious there's nothing wrong, then that's huge. Because that's what the me and what you, most of the people are busy with the whole day, trying to get a better life, trying to feel better, trying to make your life work, trying to find no me or freedom or happiness. So it's an endless search for something that's already there. Okay, so I see a lot of chats already. I start with the first one. Is the brain the cause of the identity illusion, or is the brain also a dream? Thought. Now, there's a brain functioning. Well, it seems like all those thoughts are very real because the brain is capable of abstracting things. So when there's separation, the brain creates a me, and it seems like there's a me, and then in the story after that then there's create a feeling of, oh, I can choose and I can have a free will. So that's less frightening because that separation it's a huge trauma in the body, so it's embodied. So there's a huge drive away from that and trying to make it more comfortable and more happy, or there's also a feeling of loss or something has gone wrong. So the brain of the people is capable of abstracting. So it's looking at yourself, you could say there's awareness, and then it's looking at yourself and there's so obvious something gone wrong. So it's seen here is someone, and it's seen everything is solid. So the only thing there is the real world. So in the real world, you have to find it. You have to do something, do the right thing, and you learn from your parents and things like that. So it's created more and more and more. It's not only a belief, it's an embodied sense of there's a me, but also all those beliefs and concepts are also embodied. So it's an energetic happening. And when there's no me, when that sense of there's nothing wrong, could say, is not happening, the brain still functions. So there can be anything, but and there's also still the ability of abstracting things, but without any meaning. It's so obvious that the meaning is just a story. You can do the story, you can talk in the story, but it has no meaning. Okay. This body is another person. This body is lately shocked by violence in the news. There are many thoughts and sadness around it. Why thoughts have no meaning and no power? They obviously do, and they seem very truthful in condemning acts of violence. We are so used that there's time. So there's something happening, and there's something else happening, and then it seems like this is before and this is after. So this is acts of violence are happening, or are seen, and then thoughts are coming, and it seems that they are related. They are the consequences, or they are after that. But it's just only thoughts are there, acts of violence are there, a feeling in the body is there. It's not because of something. But we're so grown up, and it's so embodied that everything is because of this. Everything is related. There is no relation. There's no relation with anything, not only with people, but with anything. So there's also no relation with something before, and because of that, I'm feeling like that. There's only that feeling. It's very literally, there's only this. But for me, it's in the whole dream, there are so consequences and before and after, and because of this, I'm feeling that, and I'm doing this because of a past or anything. That's the dream. In the dream of me is always about time and free will and consequences. So the freedom is that there is only this. It's everything is always new. And it's not only always new, it's also only apparently there. It's seen the same way as everybody, of course. But it's also seen that it's not. It's there and it's not there. This is something you can't understand. This is also not about understanding, but sometimes there's a resonation or remembering or something like that. Maybe without understanding. So hearing this is shaking, this was this morning, like shaking concept, because a lot of things are so normal and not even questions. And suddenly there's some message shaking those concepts and like, oh, it was so normal. And suddenly there's another possibility. Oh my God, or that can be a fear, but it can also be sometimes a relief. Or nothing is going on and it's just thrown away. That's also possible, of course. So when there's a feeling in the body, then there's a feeling, a sense. That's it. And secondly, wow, a lot of chat. Wait. Secondly, how can violence be complete and raw? Yeah. It's amazing. It's not complete. Have no complete and whole. It's not a judgment or something like that. It's just violent is exactly as it is. So they can. How can you say that? It's not good. That isn't meant that it is good or it's right or something like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just violence. And it's not good, it's not bad, it's violence. And violence can, you could say in the story, and then there is a feeling of uncomfort, then that's what it is. But it's not because of anything. So we are so used to look at it and have a judgment about this is bad and this is good. That's the dream of the me is going on like that. So it's the whole time doing the right thing, because there's a lot of things are wrong and I have to do the right thing. So there's responsibility, there's guilt. This is about, there's no guilt, there's no responsibility, there's what is. And it doesn't mean there's nothing. There can be pain or shivering or fear or anything, like what happens, but it's not, nothing is wrong and nothing is right. It's just what's happening. How do you experiencing sleep? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not there, so I don't know. Are you aware during your sleep? No, of course not. Do you know you're dreaming? Thank you. Dreaming can happen, and then waking up happens, and then there can be a remembering of a dream or not. It's the same. It's not my dream. There's no thinking about what's the meaning of that dream, things like that. Maybe sometimes more can be, but then it's forgotten like that. So they're sleeping, or maybe in the middle of the night for a while, no sleeping, and then suddenly they're sleeping again, something like that. It's not so much different than other people. But there's nothing going on about, oh, this is wrong, I don't sleep, oh my God, I have to. That's not going on. That's just not sleeping like that. Okay, yes, it's hard to understand because it's so obvious there is a link between an event and a feeling. Yeah. Because it's so embodied and so such a belief, but it doesn't feel like a belief, like that there's time. And when there's time, then there's before and there's after. We're so, yeah, grown up in that belief that there's time and there's before and there's after and there's forgetting and there's responsibility, because when you do that, you caused it a lot of pain to me, and then we have, oh my, now the whole story about suffering and about guilt and responsibility. It doesn't mean that that the strange thing is, it's just there's no one. So when there's no one, how can there be responsibility? That's an abstract concept. There can be pain, there can be saying words, and there can be pain. There can be anything. It's not. This is not about having a better life or behaving more relaxed or anything. It's just the same. It's just going on the same as before, and everything changes, and there's nothing trying to change it. So there's also no escape. When there's pain, there's nothing going on about trying to change it or trying to name it or trying to find out where it comes from and make it less or something like that. When there's pain, and then maybe it's going, or I don't know. It's very simple and very literally. And there's nothing going on about what can I do about it. Some thoughts can come like that, but then they come like that and then they go away. But it's always like that. But when there's someone, it seems like thoughts have a meaning and a content, and that helps me. Maybe I have to think about it, and then I want to, no, I'm too fat, so I don't have to, I don't eat sugar anymore. And then the next morning there's nothing going on about it, and then suddenly, oh my God, I didn't eat it again. The whole story about that. Yeah, that's not going on anymore. But it's not wrong when it's going on like that. It's just what's happening. Oh, it's chatting time today. Okay. Do you never fall back in the illusion of separation? There is. It's so obvious there is no one. There can be thoughts, and there can be some thoughts that somebody is trying to then saying, oh, I'm too fat, let's say like that, and we're sitting together and we have the same size, and there can be some thoughts here about oh, maybe I should do that also, or things like that, and then it's gone, something like that. So yeah, it's very normal. It seems like forgetting, but we always thinking I forget, but it's just not coming. So there's no forgetting also. It is just not there. No guilt or not because you didn't try enough or things like that. There's no one and there's no time. There's just this, only this. There's nothing wrong. Everything is it, of course. Everything. And it is not Rose has no me anymore. It has nothing to do with that. It's just there has never been a me. There's in other bodies you could say there's no me. There's also no me, of course. But the dream is so convincing that it seemed like that. That's the only thing that disappears. Because it's already there. That's the laughter also a little bit like, oh my God, I did do so many things. I gave so many money about anything. I did so many things and so many time and so many suffering and trying. It was already there, my God. And it's so normal. And and I heard that for 1,000th time. And then suddenly, this. It's amazing. It's so simple, and just the moving or the way the talking happens, it's not different as before. It's already there.
Hello, Rosemary Jean.
Hello.
I have one question. So, which type of thoughts are not there anymore without me? Since thoughts anyway arise spontaneously without anyone having them arise, I guess that some thoughts, like guilt, for instance, would not arise anymore without a me. That is like typical of the me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which ones, how would you say that? I mean, there are any particular thoughts that did not arise anymore?
I don't know. I can't remember all the thoughts and thinking, oh, this one happens or this one not. I don't know. But guilt and responsibility, it's seen as, yeah, there is no one. There is there's just body. So how can you talk about guilt? It doesn't mean that when somebody talks about guilt, I'm saying, oh no, there's no one. I don't know. Maybe they're saying something else. I don't know what it's said. But here, no, it's not, and so it's not coming anymore. But I think maybe the whole structure is dying. So in when there's a me and there's a lot of energy going on about being a me and trying to change or trying to do the best, then all those thoughts can come up. And when there's no feeding of those thoughts, that's also happening in this kind of meeting when people talk together about this and there are no answers. There's no feeding of what you can do or what is wrong or what is good. So then the whole system is just drying, and then it doesn't get any energy anymore. So it's, yeah, you could say dying. This is about death. It's just dying.
Thank you.
Okay. Another chat, I see. Okay. Would you say you are in an absolute reality? No, of course not. That seems so many teachers are talking about that kind of things. There's no me, so I could say but there's also no absolute reality. It's just walking. It's so normal. It's the same. It's just walking, sitting, blinking the eye. It's just the same. Nothing else. It's not sitting there and feeling like, there's so much this. Oh my God, that's a way of from a lot of people that makes it very far away and very difficult to reach. And this is already there. It's just what's happening. And you could say, of course, I'm saying apparently, and maybe it's not understood or you can't understand that. But so what? That's not very important. Nothing is important to know or understand. when there's something you don't understand, so what? And they're underneath the words, or when there's talking, there's something else. There's something else happening. That energetic, that's where it's about. That's life. That's the, how can you say, the mole? I don't know, the threatening thing that goes underneath and like I said, the Terminator, they said to Tony, there's something going on in that system that breaks it down same way, or doesn't feed it anymore. So the whole system of the me needs to be fed. So it needs going on. So it's going on all the time. It can't stop. It can't stop. When there's suddenly disappointment maybe, or something else, and suddenly it stops, then, oh, what's going on? There's something else. So this is about loss. It's not about reaching reality, absolute reality, or bliss, or freedom, or anything like that. That's too complicated. It's very simple, already there, nothing to reach. But the me, in a way, can't hear there's nothing wrong. So it tries to search and tries to look at, oh God, or maybe it's this, or something like that.
Hey Rose, it's Joey here. I'm on my mom's phone.
Yeah, hello.
Nice. It's so clear to me that the sense of I has to die. It doesn't have to, but that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
The sense of I. That's what the sense of I am. The death of that sense. I am. I exist.
Yeah.
In a way, it's easier because then there's really absolutely nothing that can be done. So in a sense, even though there's a sense of I am here, it makes it a little bit, somehow it's a tiny bit more relaxation maybe, because there's absolutely anything that I can do about it. There's nothing. That has to go. That's what's being pointed. It's the bottom line.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, that's what we always think. There's a sense of I or me, and that has to go. But that sense, what you call me, is just sense. That is not the me. That's just sense. Maybe something in the body, or I don't know. It's just that sense. That's already it. That's not the me. It's just a sense. It's already there. Then there's a sense. There's no me. There's already no me. Never has been. Nothing to do. This is it. So another chat, I see. Can you tell something about the relation between energy and silence? Wow. Is this the manifestation potential? Wow, that sounds complicated. There's no relation. So we start with that. So there's no relation between energy and silence. Silence is energy. There can be everything. What is silence? In a sense, silence, not silence that we won't talk or something like that, but everything is silence. Everything is freedom. Everything is love. Everything, you could say all those words. But it's not the silence most people talk about, like we don't speak in this meeting and then it will happen maybe. That has not speaking or no words or anything like that, or no noise, has nothing to do with this. Noise is it, of course. It's everything. And because we are so convinced that everything is something. So we're looking for something. We're looking for silence as a something, or feeling of freedom, or feeling at one. Oh, and that suddenly you feel like, or your observation is like, oh, this is reality or something. We're looking for something, but it's not something. It's everything already. It can't be searched for, of course, because it's already happening. It's already the movement, the nodding of your head. The nodding, not of your head, but the nodding of the head. That's it. The sitting. That's it. It's not complicated. It's very simple. It's very simple and ordinary and normal.
Hi, Rose. Can you hear
Hi.
me? Hi.
Hello. Hi, Sophie.
Yeah. Good to be here. When you say in the beginning, Becky, there's something like it's there and it's not there, and it deeply resonated with me. I don't know why, but it felt like something, not nothing, but something like, and I can't say it, but is it the same what you do, like it's happening and it's not happening?
Sorry, that last part?
Is it the same? Is it like when you said like it's there and it's not there? Is it the same like it's happening and it's not happening?
Yeah. That's the same thing.
That's the same.
Yeah. And it's happening apparently. Yeah. Everything is apparent.
Right.
Yeah.
And also when you say it's not happening, it's also like part of everything.
It's not happening, and then what you say?
You say like the part that happens and the part that doesn't happen. You say it's happening and it's not happening.
Yeah, it's happening. It's always, but everything is apparent. But it's happening. There's nothing happening, but you see moving of a bike or something. So you can't say there's nothing happening. So it's nothing and everything together.
At the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
At the same time, yeah. But you're not thinking like all the time it's happening and it's not happening. It's not like that. It's not. It's also not a sensation. It's not a thinking. It's not a seeing. It just is.
No. Because then it's a concept that you're repeating every time. No. And it's not all the time you see, oh, there's nothing happening or something like that. Nothing going, it's just things going, a bike is going and it's seen and nothing going on about that. But when and sometimes most of the time it's very subtle, and sometimes it's more obvious and more present, something like that.
Right. And it's not a seeing. It's not seeing.
It has nothing. No, it's not.
Nothing.
No, it has nothing to do with seeing. No. Not with the eyes or so, no.
No. But also not like seeing from the inside. There is no inside, but like seeing from, no, it's not that.
But sorry, that is?
Like seeing. I mean, you have seeing with the eyes and you have seeing like, I don't
from
know.
Inside or, yeah. It's another, it's just seeing. It's just seeing.
Right.
I can't say, yeah, so.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
It's not only with seeing, it's also with hearing and with sensing, with everything, is it? It's there and not. It's hearing a noise and it's not there in the same time. It's the same.
Yeah. But you can't describe that. It's not to be described.
No, impossible. No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Rose?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello. I have a deep sense of what's being said here, and I can feel that is. I cannot say that is what's going on, but there is a resonance with me of all that you're saying, and I've listened to a lot of other friends with the same things happening as you.
Yeah.
But then I have a very, very alive mind who tries to understand. I'm an engineer. In the same way, things are trying to understand, that my mind always creates a lot of questions. How would that be perceived by me and you if we were if we were in the same spot? If I came to Amsterdam and we were out walking in the street, and then I saw a bike passing by, would that be experienced also from your side?
They're seen as a bike. They're
Yeah.
seen a bike, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah. It's the same. The brain is still working.
Yeah.
But it's just biking. And there's, in the brain and in the me, there's a lot going on about, that's a beautiful bike. Maybe I can, and then the whole story starts again. That's so subtle. It's not only every time in the brain, but there's always something going on about that.
And then taking it to another level, what in this apparent world, what's going on, there seems to be, from my perspective, so little hope of what's happening in the world with violence and with climate change and all these threatening things to the me who reacts to this. And how is that perceived from your horizon?
There is no world. There's when you say about world, then that's why that's the start also from this. This is everything. And we are so used that there are other countries, there is a whole world. A lot of people would say you're crazy when you talk like that, because it's so normal to think there's a whole world outside that window. There's a lot of people outside of outside the city. There's a lot going on, but it's only remembering in the brain. There's an image of things, and it seems very real that it's happening over there. And then you see something on the television, and then you think, oh, that's happening in that country. But it's just television and an image on the television, and that can. If you have in the story, you could say that can have an effect of something. It's happening, and I won't say there's only nothing happening. That's what's happening on the screen is apparently happening. That's also everything. So it's there, but it's also not there. But there is no world. It seems like we are so convinced there's a world. This is everything. There's nothing inside. I don't see it. Where is it? It's very literally. It's not a concept or a philosophy or something like that. It's just literally, is there some? No, I can't see it. There. So it's just not there. But we are so it's so embodied that everything has meaning, and there's a whole world, and we learn about that, and so it's very convincing.
I lost the sound now.
No, I'm not speaking.
Yeah.
And there's also no hope. Of course there's no hope for something else. This is it already. And this, then you think, I don't want this. A lot of people say that. Okay, then there's a looking for something better, and that's an endless search and suffering also, because it's never right. It's never okay. It's never ended. It's never found, because it can't be seen in some way that this is it. And this is it doesn't mean you feel the whole time in bliss, it's just, this is it. It's pain or, I don't know, violence. It's not right or wrong. It's just what's happening.
It's so strange when you talk, because everything you say resonates completely with me. And in the same time, my brain is working and sees something completely different.
Yeah.
So it's really a split vision of what's going on in me.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
That's a relief also, because there's so much worry going on about the world right now, you know?
Yeah.
you said
Yeah.
there is me goes
and it's
around, well, what's going to
inside.
happen to me if I'm going to live, if I'm not going to have a world to live in anymore?
Of course, it's about me. It's always about me, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
It's Anne, but I'm using someone else's, so it says it's got a boy's name there.
Okay.
Yeah, just listening to you. And I've just been doing some writing this morning about this, because it's just so striking sometimes, and there's just, just such a desire to write about it. And it's just, the emptiness is just so striking. Before, it seemed like, well, I say before, but not really before, but it seemed like everything was so real. But now, as the cliche goes, it's so obvious that it's real and unreal.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear when you're speaking. And it's not that nothing can be taken really seriously anymore, even when it's serious. There's also, that's the sort of real, not real. It's serious and it's not serious at the same time.
Yeah.
Which gives it an incredible lightness. There's an incredible. There's a speaker called Paul Hederman, and he uses the phrase all the time, traveling lighter. And I love that phrase. I really resonate with that now, traveling lighter. But I've been dealing when this was first, let's say, acknowledged or seen, I dealt with a lot of disappointment because because I realised it was always there, and it's so striking. Yeah, and I wanted it to be something that I hadn't already got. I wanted it to be a tool that would make life continuously easy.
Yeah.
But life isn't continuously easy. It includes everything.
Yeah.
Pain and sorrow, and even, it was talked about earlier, even guilt. I think responsibility for no one. It can include everything.
Yeah, but thoughts of guilt or responsibility that don't. I think I can't remember that they come up. So.
Yeah. Well, I say that, but I don't actually know if they come up here. But I know thoughts aren't. There don't seem to be many thoughts that aren't included. Let's say thoughts that I thought wouldn't be there. There's still loads of thoughts.
There can be thoughts about that, and then they go away again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So.
I think that's the difference. That thoughts are there, but they don't stick anymore. They're seen as so trivial.
Yeah. Of course.
and absolutely not reality. There was always a little bit of like reality in the thoughts that might happen. Or what if that happens? Or yeah, what if that's true about me? Or what if I'm doing this? Or what if I should have done that? Whereas now, just like, you know, leaves blowing around, you know, thoughts just flowing around.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. But yeah, I just wanted to share that really. And I love your talks when I can get on them. I really hear the sort of honesty in them, freshness in them, and the emptiness. And but yeah, I can understand why speakers really want to get over that it's so normal.
Yeah.
Because when it's talked about, it sounds so special.
Yeah, of course. I thought that. Of course. Yeah,
it's so out of this world, so supernaturally.
Yeah.
You know, oh, they're not a person, you know. Like it's some great achievement, but it's so, like you say, it's so ordinary and normal.
Yeah, it's so obvious. In a way, it's so obvious. And then, wow, it's also amazing that dream of trying and this is not good and this is that it's so strong. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. And that, you know, like, because, you know, everyone, I think when it hit me was when probably, you know, like, when it was always repeated, it's already this, it's already here. And I think that was just heard once. And when that's properly heard, that you can't seek for it, there's nothing to seek, that you can't attain it because it's already here. And that kind of just sort of shattered, really. You know, the brain sort of went on a quick search for it and realised it couldn't find it. And that was the end of the search almost. Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. Bye.
I don't know about this, to be honest, but it's nice to just speak about it sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rose.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm grateful for your Zoom meeting.
Thanks. Thank you.
Did you see the last check?
Another chat? Oh. No. Oh. If there's no world, there's no brain. No, there's a brain. I have a brain. Come on. Brain's still working. I'm just moving to the shop and making lists of what I want to have. That's the brain functioning. It's still there.
Yes, Rosemary, but what is the brain then?
This inside, yeah, I can't say. That's the in the brain. There's a functioning. There's a functioning brain, I think, and I'm not so keen on that. And there's also an abstract part of the brain, and what abstracting. And the abstracting part is not. It's able to do that, but it's not so active anymore, and it's not believing that that's real. But there's still how could you say, the practical things that's still going on. That's what the brain does, I think. So like looking at the street and watching left and right, something like that. It's just normal functioning.
Does, but I mean, in the sense that you are talking, if
Yeah.
nothing exists, not even the brain exists. Not the
No,
robot.
in that sense. No, there's also no body, of course. No, that's only apparent. Yeah, yeah,
Just
that's.
confirming.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be an assumption because you don't see any brain, just as you do see no me. That's just what's, yeah. Maybe you could say that. I don't know where it's coming from. You could say that. And it's really like straight, you could say it's just happening. And if you talk about the brain that's talking in the story, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. It's very literally only what is happening. And when I'm talking, and sometimes I'm talking in the story and talking about the brain is still working and there's here a body and there's a brain inside and things like that. Because sometimes there's talking in the story to explain, but in the same time, of course, there's no brain. There's an apparent brain and there's an apparent body. It seems to be real, but in the same time, it's not, of course. Sure.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Hi. So would you say that this appearance, is just one, absolutely one, just as it appears, just as it happens, or would you say that there are as many as bodies, let's say, or apparent people, each one experiencing whatever, each appearance being, let's say, individual or unique. But that would still be an assumption that there are other people, yet there are apparent people. So what is this happening over there? Again, assuming that is there, which is not.
No, I understand. It's talking in two worlds. These meetings. That's talking in the story. So
Yes.
there are how many million people, and they're all different realities. Every individual, seemingly an individual, has a different reality. Everybody sees something else. So everything is unique. So you could say in the story, but of course there's no world. There's only this. That's the other from the other world now. There are two worlds. Yeah, it's not really world in the sense of there's a world, but it's another. You can't say it's something. It's talking from nothing, and then there is just nothing, and there seems to be everything. There seems to be walls and houses, but only this. And there seems to be a story, and there seems to be separation, and that's the everything part. And in the same time, there's nothing.
Because even when you answer a question, let's say, you must assume that there is someone that you respond to, or a question from someone you respond to. Or is
it's not happening like that.
So,
it's just,
so it
I
just
can't see anything. I can't, even on a computer, it's even more obvious. I just see numbers. So there's a voice and there's coming words. That's it. It's very literally. Yeah.
Right. So it's rather, it's not that it's conscious. It's whatever that. It's just a spontaneous happening.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. But it's already there too, of course. It's the same. But on top of that, there's a concept or a belief that there's someone with a life and things like that.
Yeah.
But for the rest, it's the same. It's just a spontaneous response and questioning. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
There's no difference between here and there. It's the same. There's already no me. It's just questioning, or they're coming and they are respond or talking. It's the same.
So basically,
I was thinking. Sorry.
Wait, Joe. Yeah.
Sorry.
So basically, when you talk about this dream, you know, there is the dream going on, and we just so accustomed to it, and we just so believe in it. Then that dream itself is just a spontaneous appearance.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Like, I am going, you did this, or whatever.
Yeah, but it's just happening.
Yeah.
Apparently, and it's not happening. So that's you can't understand that. That is just because we're so grown up in the real world. This is a real world. I'm a real person with a real body. It's from me. It's my body, my thoughts. So it's so embodied. And then there's suddenly a talking about, oh, this is not real. And somewhere it resonates. But what is that? Suddenly. And there's nothing wrong. Also, God, that's the big longing is that there's nothing wrong. But oh my God, then we can't hear that. Not for a moment, and then just the drive is going on again. And sometimes suddenly it stops, or for longer, or
yeah, you wouldn't be able to hear anyway, since it's just an expression, just an appearance.
Yeah. But somewhere it's energetic, so yeah. And of course that's the story, because nothing is happening in the same time. That's the strange thing. So you also talk in the story like there's something happening. So it's talking in two different worlds who do not meet at all. That's so the mind can't take his head around it. It's like, oh my, what is going on here?
Yeah, but yes, still nothing can really be apart. So we do speak in the dream, but at the same time, this dream cannot be apart, because there is, there is not apart.
No, it's just, it seems to be real. It seems to be very real and fascinating also. And nothing is going on. Whoa, what is this? And the me is always the most important part, or the most important person, in a sense. And there's no me. Yeah, come on, man. It's the most important of the whole world. It's the center. It's the center of everything.
The center and that moves the world.
Yeah, that moves the world. And then somebody is saying, oh, there's no center. Yeah, come on, eh? Oh, wow, it's God. It can be very threatening, but also very relaxing. Like, oh, I don't have to do, there's nothing to do. It's just already this. Or it's like, oh, what you say? I did this. This is my life. Yeah. Everything can go on.
Yes, I remember. True. I remember one time just listening to some talks, and suddenly it was this memory from childhood in which I was seeing whatever was happening, or it's hard to explain, but I knew I wasn't there. So suddenly this fear rushed up, and I'm like, fuck, I am invisible.
Yeah.
It was like a hit, like, whoa! Like, oh my God, it's true, I'm invisible. Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosie.
Hi, thank you. You want to say? No, it's still want to say, Joey? Or not?
Okay, yeah. So I was thinking the other day that the little kids are right, because when the little kid sees something far away, they say it's small. And then we have to explain it to them. It's not small, it's just far away.
Ah.
But actually they're right.
Yeah.
Because it appears to be small, you know, and so you have to add a story on top of it. No, you have to explain them the distance, and it looks smaller to you. I was driving over a bridge yesterday, and I was thinking of that. So they're closer to the reality than, you know, we have to impose a story on top of that so that they can function in our world.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, amazing. Oh, great. Yeah. Oké. Another chat. Ja. Even kijken hoor.
Two stacks.
The word real itself is a tricky thing because it doesn't make sense that there would be a real opposed to unreal. There can't be a thing that's more unreal than the other. Oh my God. Oh, one moment. I am. There can't be a thing that's more unreal than the other. No, it's not something is real and something is not real. Nothing is real. It's just nothing is real. So there's no comparison to. I don't know if I understand the question, but real seems like it's solid and I believe it, and there's a body and there's somebody again on the other side and things like that. That seems very real and solid. This is said, there is nothing real. There's nothing real. Everything is just energy. Apparently energy. It's just nothing. Right? And in the same time, it's everything. It's also it's live computing. But it's also, it's there and it's not there. You can't understand. You can't explain this. I don't know what to say about that. Do you see any difference between a dream through night? No? Do you see any difference between a dream thought, and awake thought? Oh my God, I don't know. They're just, I can't, when there's a dreaming, I don't, and there's, when I remember a dream, I can't remember if there were thoughts or, I don't know. So it's just there and then it's gone again. So we're just happenings, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. But in the dream, everything seems very real and normal too. But it's just a dream. And it's the same. This is also a dream. But, yeah. But a dream is just the whole thinking about what is going on and talking about it and trying to find something. And in the same time, the moving of the hand is there. That's it. It's much more simple than that whole dream world of thinking about everything and trying to make it better. So there's a difference between the dream and the story. The story. Yeah, the dream is the same as the story. But the bee has always a story about anything. So that's the dream. Yeah. It's already there. You don't need me to see it. I don't need anything to see it or to feel it, because it's everything. It's the moving. It's the doing this, something like that. It's that. Finished. Nothing to look for. But for me, it seems like, come on.
Rose?
Yeah?
Yeah, what you were just saying there about nighttime dreams. it seems the same as nighttime dream in that dreams at night, when you're having them, feel really real. No matter how bizarre they are, the dream seems real at night. And it's the same in the day now. The dream goes on, but it seems real, apparently.
Yeah.
But now there's a not real as well, whereas there only used to be real there. It was all real. There's now real and not real.
Yeah.
Just like nighttime dreams, they seem real, but they're not real.
Yeah.
So everything can seem real, but it's not real. The same as that.
Yeah.
Was just said to me. Yeah. It's very strange, though, isn't it?
But it's not real. Then it's real and unreal.
Yeah.
It's also normal. It's also, nothing going on with it. You get used to it, something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's, yeah. We're not words.
And a new chat.
Who dreams in the waking state? No one. But there is no waking state. There is no one. And in the night there's also no one, but there's never no one. So there's never someone. Sorry. So there is no waking state. There is just body. There's just dreaming. Just when here there's watching a movie in the evening, and then there's a dream about things that happening in that movie also. So or something happening. I don't know. And, I don't know. It's just the brain, or I don't know how that functions. It doesn't matter. But it's not a waking state. It's just, you can't name it. There's no name. There's no state. It's just, I don't know, walking. Yeah. Nothing special. Nothing different than other bodies. No, of course not. There's the only thing that's not there, that's maybe the difference, is that whole dream and story going on. So maybe in you could say when there's a feeling or thinking there's a me, there's something extra. That's the difference. And that's what's lost. But that feels like it's your life. So it's about death. But in the same time, nothing is happening. That's the odd things. When there's suddenly that isn't coming anymore. It's obvious that, oh my God, it was always like this and it wasn't there already. So nothing is happening. And this was what I'm looking for. And it's subtle, what you said also, a subtle disappointment and grief also, like, oh my God, what I'm looking for it, and a search and an importance and anything. And it was just this already. We're so much into knowing and understanding. And you think, when I'm understanding it, maybe I can understand, and maybe there's something going on. When it's clear, trying to, oh, is it like this, or is it like this, or maybe is it like this? No, it's not. You can't say it's like this, of course, because it's everything. It's just walking. It's just nodding. That's it. It's already there.
Yeah, so everything is it. So you can't find anything because everything is it. And if everything is it, there can't be anything wrong. So everything that happens, every single thing, every single thought, feeling, everything is it. So there can't be anything wrong that ever happens. It's all just that life energy.
It's just energy, life happening. When there's a tree and there's a branch and it's falling off, and there's suddenly one branch left, the tree doesn't think, oh, what did I do? There's something going wrong. What? Oh my God, what did I do? That's just human. It's the same thing. Nothing gone wrong. It's just falling off.
Rose?
Yeah.
So this is what you mean with cause and effect, like something happened or I did it and it's because of me, and that's the cause and effect.
Yeah.
And which the me think like he is responsible for what he was doing, and if he did the bad things and you feel guilty about it, and if you do things like because of me, then I feel important. That's the whole.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. We make it something like, oh, I did something, and when you see a tree, it's just falling off. That's it. And the people like, oh, what did I do? And then the whole story starts. Yeah.
So it is like because of me or not because of me. That's the thing.
No, that's the me. The me is the story. It's
the story.
that thinking. Yeah.
And
it's not really somebody here, but to me, you could say the story is the same. Yeah.
Yeah. And there is no because, and this is quite something, because I mean at the moment I have different kind of challenges in my life, like real big ones, and there is no because. There is no like it's happening because of this and this and that, or because I did something, or because the other person.
No.
Just the whole story is just not there.
No. It's a dream. Can be there, but it's a dream with no meaning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, but I that's the whole thing. Like I'm in the middle of it, and somehow I get it. I get it because I see that I don't try to mentally really understand. I mean, it's getting less and less. I mean, the situation is not good, but it's like I'm not trying to, in a way, it's like I'm just with it or going with it, but there is not really the trying to understand like as I used to be, or like going against it, or like why it's this and not something else. So
yeah.
Oh,
God.
Okay.
Thanks.
And there is another chat.
Another chat. Rose. That's my second name, Rose. I'm Rose. Doesn't matter. Lost the self-illusion. No. Yes, sorry, thanks. It sounds a bit strange, that's all. Lost the illusion, lost the self-illusion, but she still has a survival mode, right? In the sense that Rose will still takes care of her needs and safety. No, it's not. It's not somebody takes care, but it's just what's happening. And there can be a structure in the body, a physical structure, that's behaving in a certain way, and that can be characteristics, or if you talk in the story, then there's a past and there's coming something when there's walking like this because of the body is growing like this, and then there can be emotions and anything. So that can happen, but no one does it. So it's just happening. There's no because or why, or when there's sadness, there can be sadness, and then there's trying, because I was so used to finding out where it comes from and what to do and anything. So there can be still thoughts about trying to know what is happening, but that's the thought. What is happening here? And then it stops and it doesn't go on, and there's just sadness, and it's there. There's no escape, and then it takes some time. That's in the story. So it's not about taking care or safety. I don't know. I can't see what safety is. It's something abstract. And taking care is also something abstract. It's just saying something or doing or not doing, hearing something. I don't know. It's just very literally, without a plan or an agenda or thinking, oh, I have to take care of that. It's just going. It's always like that, but we add something in it, like, oh, but it's important that I take care because it's my son, and then I have to da 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 da. It's just going and doing something. There's no agenda. There's nothing going on. There's just an action, maybe. That's it. The survival, there can be a body survival. Maybe when there's falling in the water, there's trying to get swimming to the side. I don't know, something like that. That's the survival mechanism in that sense, bodily survival mechanism. Because the me, it has died. There is nothing going on about that. No. No image, something like that. Or who am I? No, I don't, there's nothing. It's very small, very little life, going to the shop and driving in the car and swimming maybe, or it's not big, something like that. Or special, nothing special. It can be serious, and in the same time it's not. That's how it is. Another one. Can you please share the awakening story of Rose? Thank you. Taking all the questions. Oh, wow! The awakening story. That's I was always into say the personal growth thing. I always somewhere knew it's about something else, but I couldn't say what it was. So I was into all therapy and personal growing and all that kind of ways. So I spent a lot of money on that, thinking I'm not good enough and not I'm too fiery, I have to be more quiet and all those things. So it went on, and then I met Tony, you could say, and then at the first meeting I met Tony Parsons. I was so scared. There came a fear. There came a fear, a big fear. I thought this is dangerous. This is very, very dangerous. He has to stop. I said to him, you have to stop because it's too dangerous what you're saying. Because I felt so scared, and I knew it was that was it, but I couldn't understand. So I did it for many years. I went to those meetings and didn't go anywhere else but those meetings. And there were some awakening, some moments that walking through the station, and then suddenly there was no floor and it was just free. It was such a freedom. It was too much. I was, oh my God, that was too much. So it came back again. So a lot of things like that happened in a certain way. And yeah, so there were several awakening moments, you could say, like I was sitting in the garden and there was nobody anymore. So I was so convinced, of course, that I was there in my body, and then suddenly there was nobody. So I was like, oh my God. And then suddenly I was in the story, it was in the sauna. In a sauna, just thinking about everything normal, like how I did, like what I was feeling and how I went on, how I could, what I could do with that. And then suddenly, yes, I couldn't say what it was, but something stopped. That was strange. I didn't know. And it was suddenly, everything was clear. I couldn't tell about it, but everything was clear. And something stopped, and I even didn't know what it was. It was so strange. There was something else. And then in the months afterwards, there was sometimes like I thought, oh, there is no me anymore, but I couldn't believe it. I thought that would be a feeling, or I would be sure. So there was doubt also. Well, is this the feeling? Because I thought when there's a tightness in the body, I thought, oh, the me is back again. So it's, and then, but there was what you say also, but what somebody said, it was thoughts come up, but there was nothing going on about them. So, and then those thoughts about the doubt thoughts about, is there still a me or not a me? That they didn't come up anymore. But I couldn't speak about it for a long time. For a few years, I didn't speak about it because I didn't know what to say. And sometimes I spoke with Tony Parsons about it, but no one else, my husband. And then on a moment, then somebody asked me, then she heard about what was happened, and then there were with a few people, we started a meeting, a little meeting, and so it happened. Something like that. The funny thing is, maybe all the time there's a different story also. There can be some remembering of something, and then suddenly there's a remembering of other things. So the story is not always the same. But it's about falling away, and it was not immediately very clear. That's also very odd. Yeah. But there's something stopping. That's it. And it was so obvious. It was so obvious, like, oh my God, it was already this. It's this. It's already there. Nothing is going on. There is no before, and there's also no after. So that awakening, you could say, didn't happen. Of course, it didn't happen. It was just then there's thinking and thinking going on, and then there's just sitting and there's no thinking. So there's no event. There's nothing happening. There's no change. Change happens all the time, so there's no change. So it isn't different as before. That's very, in the beginning it was like, oh my God, it was in a sense also a disappointment because I thought there will be a big energy or a big feeling of oneness or bliss or joy, or it was very simple, like clip, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. But it's just this, and in you could say in the story, in the years, there's still falling things. There's still some maybe concepts or things like, I don't know what it is. Some things are falling away, and it's getting more clear and more obvious. Something like, and stronger. It's the energy is so strong. Life energy. Look at little children. They behave all the time. They move all the time. There's so strong energy. Life is such a strong energy. It's just whoa. And it's just love, man. It's just love. There's nothing going on about good or wrong or this is bad or something like that. It's just what it is. It's already what it is. So that's what I longed for. Like, oh, nobody is saying, oh, you're doing not the right thing, or in the head, like, oh, this is going wrong. It's just this. Just this. That this is that body. How could I think there's something wrong with this body? How it looks, how it behaves. It's just behaving and looking. It's just life. Life rosing. Life like another body. So it's just life happening. That's love. That's unconditional love, because there's everything. It doesn't have to be something else. That's the complete. That's why it's complete. It's just complete like it is. No need for another perfection or something like this is perfection. This is paradise. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you very much.
Thank you.